I'm going to be honest. If I had Uber One, I'd be very frustrated right now because Uber drops ride discounts for subscribers, switches to cash back. So in case you don't know, when you sign up for Uber One, it is $10 a month or $100 a year. And the good part about this, like a subscription service, is for every time you order an Uber ride, you get 5% off that ride initially. Doing quick math, and I think that's important for this video, that means you need to spend $200 or more every month to save money using Uber One, right? And for a lot of people who rely on Uber, this is a great option, right? If you spend $200 a month, you're breaking even on Uber One. Anything past that is profit. There are some other benefits as well, but that's the biggest one. However, as you can see right here, Uber is dropping the 5% discounts on eligible rides that it previously offered members of the Uber One subscription service, which is, I don't know, to me that's kind of the whole point of it, right? Yes, you do get like $0 delivery fee on certain orders on Uber Eats and other kind of perks, but this is the biggest one. Starting on the next billing cycle, subscribers will now earn a 6% so-called Uber Cash on eligible rides that can be spent on Uber and Uber Eats. So as opposed to saving 5% on that ride initially, you're going to get 6% back, but as Uber Cash, or basically Uber credit, right? Like, think of it almost like a gift card in a sense, where you can only use it on Uber and Uber Eats. And this is a big thing. It's a risky move for Uber, of course. Now, like I mentioned, it is $10 a month, $100 a year, and there's roughly about 12 million members using Uber One. And as you can see right here, while Uber can increase its profit margins by switching to a cashback offer, it also faces the possibility of losing customers who are in it for the discounts. I mean, that's the whole point of it, right? I mean, I did test out Uber One before. I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of like it. I got like a 3-month free trial, and I'm like, hey, free, 3 months completely for free to get 5% off every Uber. Not too bad. But here's the biggest thing though, too, is that, which actually could be a good thing given the past videos I've done about Lyft not doing the best, ditching the 5% discount might also send Uber users into the arms of Lyft, because Lyft Pink, which is their similar equivalent of Uber One, still offers 5% off the rides. And I'm not gonna lie, I hate kind of like BS quotes from CEOs when they're like, oh, like the main goal of Uber One is to really we are giving a discount to our best customers in order to drive frequently. I mean, okay. And of course, yes, you do get the $0 delivery fee on Uber Eats, 10% off eligible Uber Eats orders that aren't going anywhere. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this is just really annoying, and I'm curious to see what happens. I'm not gonna lie, this is a pretty bold move from Uber. I mean, it's interesting because I feel like that Uber's been doing a lot better, and I've talked about this before in other videos. Lyft has not been doing well. I've talked about that in other videos as well. But it's weird that when it comes to this, why they're doing this. Now, to use pure math, because in some ways, depending on who you are, this could be both a good or a bad thing. Now, I think the biggest thing is this. Now, like I said, when it comes to Uber One, before this happening, you needed to spend, doing the math out, $200 or more a month for Uber One to really be worth it when it comes to taking Ubers. I'm going to talk about Uber Eats in a second. Let's focus on taking the Uber rides. And for a lot of people, it makes sense. A lot of people don't have a car, and they rely on Ubers to get to and from work, or to get to and from point A to point B or whatever. A lot of people, let's say, take Ubers when it comes to going out on Friday and Saturday nights or whenever they're consuming alcohol to be safe and responsible. Now this, if you do the math out, you're getting 6% Uber Cash. And if you do the math out, that means you need to spend roughly about $167-ish, right? Give or take, rounding numbers, about $167 a month in order for you to kind of break even, so to speak. Because if you're spending that money on Ubers anyway, and you're going to take that credit and put it towards Ubers anyway, well, if you think about it in a sense, in a heavy sense, you're saving, in a way, $33 a month, right? Where you need to spend now $33 less a month for it to break even for you mathematically for your wallet. So in one way, this could be a potential good thing. However, I don't think that's the case. Like if I said to someone, hey, I can either give you $20 in cash right now, or I can give you $20 as Uber credit, who's not gonna take the cash? You could use cash for anything. With Uber credit, you can only use it for Uber or Uber Eats, right? So that's a big thing I want to say about this that I think for a lot of people too as well. You spend money on the ride and then you get 6% credit, as opposed to the other way where you get 5% off, you get that 5% off right away. I mean, who knows if, like, say you use Uber for a bit, you get this credit and you decide not to use it, then it's like, well, great, right? When it comes to the 5% though, you get that right away, which means you're spending less initially, because you're already giving $10 a month for Uber, you're spending less initially and getting that discount right away. So I think this is a really bold move. I'm going to be honest, I don't know why they're doing this. In a sense, from a pure business, financial, investor perspective, it makes sense, right? Because obviously, one, Uber's now shelling out less money initially where they're not giving that 5% off anymore. And two, it kind of locks somebody into Uber, which is really annoying as well, right? Like if you get that Uber credit, you can only use it for Uber or Uber Eats. So it kind of soft locks you, or I guess more of like a hard lock, being like, hey, once you get this credit from having Uber One, which you're already spending $10 a month for, you now have to use it with us. You can't use it anywhere else, as opposed to the other way. When you say that initial 5%, well, that 5% you're saving, in a sense, you could take that money and use it for any business. You could use it anywhere you want because it's your own money that you're initially saving 5% on when it comes to every ride. So I'm curious to see what happens, for a lot of people too, that might go to Lyft. Maybe this helps, Lyft out because obviously Lyft is not doing well. And like I said, Lyft Pink is kind of Uber One's equivalent. I've done some videos about Uber One versus Lyft Pink, and I could post them in the description below if you want to check that out. But it is interesting seeing how this may change the landscape. It is kind of annoying too. Like I said, if you had Uber One and you rely on Ubers, as a lot of people do, and now you're like, great, I'm not gonna say 5% initially, I'm just gonna get 6% back to me that I can only use with Uber or Uber Eats. Kind of frustrating. And now talking about Uber Eats, I think Uber Eats, when it comes to this, gonna be honest, is a bit of an odd one. I mean, yes, $0 delivery fee can be pretty awesome. Remember, it's only on eligible restaurants. Some do not do this, but it's very common for delivery fees to be $2 or $3, right? So if you're looking at spending, let's just bring it down to $2, right? A $2 delivery fee, well, 5 Uber Eats orders break you even when it comes to the Uber One membership. The catch, though, at least for me, let me know what you think in the comments about this. I look at Uber Eats as more of a luxury, as more of a, you know what, I'm tired, I'm gonna order in. Or I just got back from, as most people do, I just got back from the bar, I'm gonna order in. It's lunch at work, which I guess, by the way, for my Uber Eats drivers out there, I've been told, because I'm not gonna lie, I did Uber Eats only once and I hated it. I have been told by a lot of drivers that Uber Eats is more common actually from 10:30 or 11 a.m. to about 1 or 2 p.m. So the lunch hour window. So for example, let's say you're working in the office, it's more of a luxury of saying, hey, I could go out, go and buy food and come back, or I could bring a lunch, or I could just Uber Eats it. So it's more of a luxury, right? In my mind, you don't have to do it per se. Maybe sometimes it's a lot more convenient, but you don't have to do it. With Uber, there are some people saying, hey, I can't get to work without an Uber. Or let's say it's a Friday night, you're like, look, I have to take an Uber because I've consumed alcohol. I want to be safe and responsible. I have to order this Uber. Uber Eats and getting delivery food and everything is more of a luxury, I feel like, for a lot of people. And I'm not gonna lie that although yes, the $0 delivery fee is great, and let's say if you do order Uber Eats a lot, Uber One can be a great option. I feel like for most people, they care more about the Ubers. I think that's the biggest thing because that's the biggest selling point, in my opinion, of Uber One. So I'm curious to see what happens with this. If they're going to lose a lot of subscribers, I would not be surprised. I'd be very frustrated because getting just credit back kind of feels more retroactive, almost like they're reimbursing you, which I guess in a sense it is, as opposed to being proactive, where they're saying, hey, we're going to give you 5% off right out of the gate. I don't know, with Uber doing so well now, with them doing and them having all these different new types of Ubers are getting into, all these different industries Uber's getting into, this is a very questionable move.